familia, it's Alex. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to day number 11. So what do you got for 11 pipers? No, that's 12. Isn't that 12? Yeah, it is. I had it right the first time, you guys. Today is 11 pipers piping. And then we have the rest of the song that I will not bore you with. Today is the second to last day of this, you guys. Have you guys been enjoying my 12 days? Let me know in the comments section if this is something that you've been enjoying this year, the little twist that I've done to it. I've been having a lot of fun coming up with these unique ideas and putting it all together for you guys and filming them, editing them. It's been a lot of fun for me. So let me know in the comment section, did you guys like it this year? Would you guys like to see me do this next year with a little different twist again? I don't know. I don't know where I'll be next year to see if I could do it, but if you guys really enjoyed it that much, I'll do it again next year. I'll figure out a way. So today is day number 11 of 12 days of aleXmas, and you're here to watch what do I got for number 11. So today I am going to share with you guys 11 new eyeshadow makeup or eyeshadow palette releases of 2021 that I completely have forgotten about, that even existed, that even were released this year. I have not seen many people rave about these palettes, and I could be wrong. I could just be not seeing that type of video content creator. But these are 11 palettes that I have completely forgotten that even were released this year, that even exist, that are around, hanging around somewhere. So if that's something that interests you, stay tuned. But first, if you're new to my channel, welcome to the familia. My name is Alejandra. I'm an eyeshadow enthusiast with a Dash Project Pan. If that's something that interests you, subscribe, join us. And now let's get on with day number 11. Okie doke, so I have 11 palettes. Obviously, I do not have them in my possession, so you'll see some photos popping around on the screen so you guys can see exactly what I am talking about. Palette number 1 goes to the Dominique Cosmetics Transition Palette. I remember it very vaguely because I thought it was another neutral palette, just slapped on another name to it, to be honest with you guys. How many of us have had these neutral palettes and nobody's called them transitional palettes? Like, come on. That's so gimmicky. This is just another neutral palette. I don't know if the quality was great. I know I've only seen it once in a Project Pan because somebody was using it for usages. So I remembered this palette only at that time. Other than that, I completely forgot. Is it even limited edition? Does it still exist? I have no clue. Was it a BoxyCharm palette? I don't know, you guys. But this palette completely left my brain. Palette number 2 actually is a collection. This is the Hip Dot and collaboration with the Peeps. Remember these palettes? I think they were like elongated ones. I don't remember if it was 4 or 6 eyeshadows in them. It was like this quick thing during Easter. Oh, how cute the little Peep palettes. And then it was like, boop. We ate the Peeps and they were gone. I don't think I've seen anyone that I watch bring these palettes up. Not even in a declutter video have I seen these declutter. And I'm a fan of Hip Dot. I love their palettes and I just wasn't for these palettes. I don't know. Cute, but not for me. Here's another one. It had its moment, and then I have yet to see it again. I haven't seen anybody say that this is like their go-to palette. This is the one that they use all the time. This is the one that I've seen people, like, you know how you have certain people that only use certain palettes, and you're like, oh, I just really like it. Or you're showing a palette, and it really looks used and abused. I haven't seen this one, even though it did have its moment, like I said. This is the Hindash what is it? Butophy palette? Butopsy palette? I don't know how you say that. It's the one with that gradient. I saw everyone rave about it, the quality of it, the thought process of it, why they came up with it. Maybe the reason why I don't see it is because it was maybe intended for makeup artists in the field and not necessarily for the everyday person or content creator. But it had its moment, everyone raved about it, and that was the end of that. Haven't seen it since. I completely forgot it even existed. And it's a pretty penny. So if you're going to invest that kind of money on a palette like that, you better get your money's worth and use it. Here's another one that caught my attention for a little bit. I remember when I saw it, but I'm glad I don't have it and I wouldn't miss it if I didn't, if I missed it completely. I don't know if I did. Maybe I did. This is the Hank and Henry tie-dye palette. Remember this? It's a very bright and colorful one. It reminded me very much of a lot of palettes, like the ColourPop Fade into Hue, my Viseart editorial palette. So I didn't feel the need to get this one. It's beautiful. It looked really nice. The packaging attracted me. But the palette itself, it's been done and over with. So it's been beaten to death. And completely forgot it even existed until I looked up these palettes for this video. Up next, we have the Rare Beauty Always an Optimist palette. Now, I remember this one. This one's a little bit more talked about, but it just still, I can't get on board with the oval packaging and then the semi-crescent moon, full moon kind of palette situation going on. I don't understand, because a lot of people were like, oh, but I don't mind that. But yet you minded those when Maybelline did it kind of like that years ago, or like when palettes would give you those funky type of shapes, and you were not into that, but now you're into this one. I don't get it. I don't get it. This palette just completely was like, ugh, boring to me. It didn't attract me. I didn't see myself getting use out of it. And let me tell you, I know a lot of people that love this palette. I know. You don't got to yell it out at me. I get it. I understand why, because of the color story. It's just, I have it, and I have it in singles. So why? I don't know. It just never really caught my attention. And again, I only see it here and there. I haven't seen it in a, oh my goodness, I love it so much kind of video. All right, this one, I think it had its 5 seconds of fame on the internet, and that was the end of that. I don't think I've heard one person, not one person purchased this, which is pretty sad. The Jouer French Riviera palette. I'm pretty sure some of you guys are like, huh? What kind of palette? What did that look like? I bet you guys didn't even know it even existed, because I forgot it even existed. It had a little bit of a glimpse when I scrolled through Instagram at that point, and that was the end of that. This palette just was so blah. Very, very blah. They could have done a lot with this, and I feel like it was very... They missed the mark on this. It's just, it needed something. It needed a pizzazz. It needed like more vibrancy or something, more put together. It looked like they just slapped something on just to put a collection out, and that was the end of that, because it just doesn't, I have not heard one person go out of their way to buy this. I don't even remember if it was on sale. I don't even know if it still even exists. They sent it to TJ Maxx. I don't know. All right, palette number 7. Oh my goodness. I don't know. Does this exist, you guys? This is the Melt Cosmetics Brunette palette. This had a little bit of a moment, and that was the end of that. I don't know. Even the Mary Jane one had a little bit of a moment, and that was the end of that. Anybody on the brunette palette, because I don't hear anyone. I don't even think I saw many reviews on this palette. This was like a quick Gone with the Wind kind of thing. It was like... Normally, the Melt Cosmetics palettes linger a little bit, and I can see them often for a few weeks. And this one, I did not. This one surprised me. I was shocked that I have not seen this one more involved in the beauty community. So for me, this one, forgot. Here's another one. Number 8 goes to the Buxom and collaboration of Ash Home palette. This one actually has attracted me. When I saw it, I'm like, oh, I could have gotten this one and I wouldn't have been so upset about it. But I have these colors. It's not something where it's super unique to me. It's been a very long time since I purchased any Buxom eyeshadow palette, so I don't even know if this is good quality. I haven't heard many people talk about this. I think I've seen it in like a makeup collection video, and they pop open the palette, but they not necessarily have used it on camera. So I don't know. This one completely forgotten about too. Number 9. I think that this may be a palette that isn't for YouTube. It's more for like mainstream. The everyday person may love this palette, but I don't think here on this platform, it's been really something that I've seen anyone purchase. That's the Urban Decay Naked 3 Mini. I think to be honest with you, when I saw this release, I think what I remember out of it is a lot of people going, it wasn't really received well amongst the YouTube community, but I think this may be a palette for like the everyday person, where it's smaller, you're enough shades to take you for the day, for whatever it is that you need. It's more like a pinky hue to it. So I think that's why this palette hasn't really been in my brain or seen around here. It's because I don't think it's something that we, and I mean YouTubers, those that watch and do videos, would want something like this. There's so many other fun stuff that this is just like more of a boring palette. And I think that's Paya. Honestly, I completely forgot this was released this year. Completely. All right, number 10 goes to this one. This one was, and most of these releases are, unless it's a really good color story or a good theme or a good packaging. Most of these are this way. This is the ColourPop Orchid palette. I don't think I need to elaborate too much on ColourPop releases because I'm sure most of us are on board with ColourPop releases. But this one, I truly forgot it even existed. Most I remember, oh yeah, I remember so-and-so buying it, or it being at Ulta, or seeing it on sale, or them showing an email of it. This one truly, it was like a blink of an eye. This one lasted as long as an orchid lasts. Has anybody ever tried to grow an orchid and how long it takes for the darn thing to grow and how long it lasts and looks beautiful and then you got to start all over again? Those things are finicky. And I feel like this palette was the same way. It was just like gone. As soon as it bloomed, it was like, bloop. Now you got to go look up how to water it again with a spritzer because God forbid you water it. Okay, and last but not least, it breaks me to put this brand in here because I love this brand so very much. But it is the truth. This is the Natasha Denona Baby Glam palette. This seriously was here, now gone literally 5 seconds later. Anybody buy this? Was anybody interested in this? Did anybody see or did anybody want this at all? It is a trio of, and it's the Baby Glam. It's like the Baby Glam. You could just pop out those shades and make it yourself. This was so left field. Know if anyone purchased this. And if it wasn't for this video, I would have never remembered she released this. At all. Completely at all. This was so out of the norm for her. Completely out of the norm for this brand. And it breaks my heart to put that brand on this list because I love Natasha Denona releases. And this one was so completely forgotten that it even existed, that it even came out. Did anybody remember this? Because I know I completely forgot. All right, guys, that's 11 new eyeshadow palette releases that I completely forgot for the year of 2021. What makeup releases have you forgotten about? Maybe you guys will remind me of palettes that I completely forgot that were released. Or maybe I do have them and you must have forgotten about them. I don't know. We all have our own perspective of what it is that we are attracted to. And that's how our brain works. Just like when you are looking for a new car and you like this specific model and you see it everywhere you go. That's how this is. So maybe it's just I wasn't looking for these, but these are ones that I completely forgot even existed. I'll link these down in the description box if you are interested in checking any of these out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Day number 12 is coming up, you guys. The last day of my 12 days of aleXmas. So stay tuned for my last video, you guys. Thank you. I'll put more videos on the screen. Until then, adios.